Hello, everybody. This is the post-Memorial Day Litter Media Live program with Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon. Dan is on assignment elsewhere the next couple of days. Of course, we were all paying tribute to those men and women who have given their all in the service of their country on Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully that was a time for you to reflect as well and spend time with your families. We've actually, the weather was fantastic yesterday. It was really nice. We did some taking flowers to a number of cemeteries in our community, and then family went out and grabbed something to eat and took a little walk up in Circleville. And what did you do?
I took a walk downtown, and then we went to Franklin to meet up with some friends.
Franklin,
Ohio.
Where is that? Cincinnati area?
Yeah, Cincinnati
area.
area.
I thought it was somewhere in the southwestern part of the state. Well, let's talk about some of the things that's going on, as in weather. That's how we always usually get started here. Rain is a possibility, a very good possibility throughout the course of the day today, which we'll talk about on sports and how that might impact some of the high school tournament baseball that's supposed to be taking place today. On and off rain possible today through Wednesday. I believe we're going to see a diminished chance of rain for Thursday and Friday, possibly back into the picture for Saturday. This was probably going to be the last cool temperature day of this week. 61, I think, is our high for today, and then we're going to get up into the low and mid-70s as the week progresses. When we come back, we'll tell you what's beneficial news that you can use right here on Litter Media Live. Zayetta Valley Dumpsters, Carl Gerhardt. I see a lot of posts that Carl has, what he's doing on the farm, but also what he's doing delivering dumpsters, the big orange dumpster that you can have for cleanup projects. Maybe you're doing a kitchen renovation of your own where you can have a dumpster brought in to get rid of things that you're replacing, so to speak. For a free estimate, call Carl at 253-8389 at Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Now with the news, we lead off with Aaron Glandon.
No, we lead off with you.
No, you're going to tell us the video that Dan did with.
My topics are in a different order than yours.
Well, I added that because we got that email sent to us late by Dan Ramey, Mr. On Time. So what do we got from Lori?
Dan was on assignment Friday morning talking with Lori Graves about upcoming events at the Majestic Theatre, which you can find here. May 30th, Hollywood Nights is a Bob Seger tribute. And on June 5th, it's First Thursday with First Capital Rotary. On June 6th, it's Chillicothe Jazz, Funk, and Blues Concert. June 7th, we have Chillicothe Brew Fest, which we have another interview talking to Tiffany Baldwin about that. Mm-hmm. And then on June 20th is Out of Eden, which is an Eagles tribute show. You can get tickets for all those at majesticchillicothe.net. And you can watch Dan's interview with Lori Graves on our YouTube channel to learn more about all these events.
I think some of those shows have been, I know the Out of Eden, I think they've been here before. So if that's a return concert you wanted to see, get your tickets now. Paint Valley ADAMH director Melanie Swisher was joined by Hattie Tracy and Dr. James Hagan on the Litter Media Special Edition last week to discuss construction of their new Emergency Crisis Center, which is being built out on County Road 550 just outside of Pleasant Valley. The
It's
center
going to
is
have
slated for opening next spring and will be named in honor of Dr. James Hagan.
It's going to have 8 chairs and a 23-hour OBS. And by the way, Hattie's with Coleman Health. So her agency will be providing the services. They do crisis work all over the state. Okay. And then it's going to have a crisis stabilization unit that will have 8 beds. So if somebody comes to the observation unit, and maybe they really don't need to be in a hospital, but gosh, going straight home and waiting for an outpatient appointment isn't going to cut it either. They could go to the crisis stabilization unit. They'll have somebody there all the time. They'll have, just increase in services. Our mobile teams, which Hattie's going to talk more about, will be operating out of there. And plus, people will be able just to walk in the front door if they just need some mental health help.
Dr. Hagan, of course, who's on the far right, he's retired now, but it was his vision for a crisis center more than 40 years ago when he came to Chillicothe that has finally come to fruition. So that's one of the reasons why this is being named in his honor.
On May 30th, Circleville Eagles will be, May 31st, I'm sorry, this Saturday, Circleville Eagles will be rocking with Rock House Columbus to open the Boogie on the Blacktop series at Elks Lodge. Doors open at 6 p.m. and showtime is 7 p.m.
Staying in Circleville, Uptown Circleville invites the community to attend First Friday on June the 6th from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Circleville. The event offers an evening of local shopping, entertainment, and community engagement with activities for all ages and interest. A highlight of the evening is Pieing with Purpose. Now, hang with me here. That's a fundraising benefit for the Pickaway County Special Olympics, where local public figures volunteer to have a pie thrown in their face to help raise awareness and funds for the organization.
You ever had a pie in your face?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think maybe I did years ago at some kind of a fundraiser, but I can't recall.
I remember when I was in high school, middle school and high school, we used to have fundraisers and we would pie our principals.
I think mine was either shaving cream or whipped cream.
I think usually it's just whipped cream.
Yeah, it wasn't an actual pie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Circleville Summer Film Series for Youth gets underway June 13th with the showing of Moana 2 at Ted Lewis Park. Snacks and water will be provided, but bring your own lawn chair or blanket to the free screening, starting with events at 7:30 p.m. and the movie at 8:30.
And you can even bring your own snacks, they say.
Yeah.
Our road reports in Chillicothe, Bridge Street construction project. The traffic light at Bridge and Marietta will be down tomorrow. That's Wednesday morning. Flaggers will be in place instead of the traffic light to direct traffic during that 3 or 4 hour window when the traffic lights will be down. Again, that is tomorrow from 9 until noon. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on local things that you might have missed in sports, as well as get us caught up with the Reds and Guardians, all ahead on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. And again, they've been around quite a while. Tom White, Mike Linton, and the crew, they really stress service. And also the fact that they're a faith-based business, which they want to let you know that because they want you to know that they take seriously their obligation to not just sell you something, but make sure it works correct. Novel idea, right? Well, sometimes, unfortunately, in our day and age, businesses don't always practice that, but Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing does. Give them a call if you need one of these services for your home or business today.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Going on right now while supplies last is the Hometown Motors Incorporated Spring Sales event. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99, new zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99, new walk-behinds starting at $399.99, chainsaws starting at $279.99, new blowers starting at $199.99, new trimmers starting at $229.99. So hurry in to get the best selection because with prices like this, they're not going to last much longer. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
The train always wants to blow the whistle right when we're doing that live commercial. You think you got range? Well, step up and show us your shot at the Litter Media three-point shootout at the Gus Macker tournament this coming weekend. That'll be open from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Saturday, which is May 31st, and your chance to earn bragging rights and a shot at the big stage. The top shooters of the day will advance to the Chillicothe Rotary Macker Madness Finals on Saturday night at 6. Now, if you watched our interview with Brian Grigsby, Fellowship of Christian Athletes this morning, you will hear him talking about that. If you didn't, you can catch it on our Litter Media YouTube and other social media sites. High school baseball tournament action in the district level gets underway tonight, weather permitting. Division I district semis has Hilliard Derby at Lancaster. In Division III district semifinal action, it's Jackson, Chillicothe, Circleville against Athens. Division IV, it's Unioto against New Lexington, Westfall, Logan Elm. I believe that matchup is over at Logan, the Unioto New Lex. And in Division V at VA Memorial Stadium, it's Lynchburg, Clay, Piketon, Portsmouth against Northwest. The Fredericktown, Amanda Clear Creek game, that's out of the Central District. That will be at Amanda. High school track and field districts were held this past week for a number of the different athletes that have moved on to the regional level. If you go to our website, littermedia.com, you'll find links for each of the district divisions from milesplit.com that'll tell you how our area athletes, as well as others, progressed to the regionals, which will be later this week. The Chillicothe Paints open their regular season on the road tonight at Johnstown. Paints will be home at VA Memorial Stadium later this week. But
I think Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
But on the road at Johnstown to get it started tonight, our friends over at Hank FM are, again, the terrestrial radio voice for the Chillicothe Paints.
The Reds blew big leads in 2 of their losses to the Cubs over the weekend and then opened yesterday with a 7-4 win over the Kansas City Royals. So go Reds. I bet my buddy Drew's happy about that.
Well, he ought to be.
Because he works for the Reds now, but he used to work for the Royals.
Ah, I see. And the Reds were, of course, playing against one of their former teammates in Jonathan India, who plays now for the Royals.
Yeah. Not as good of news for the Guardians. They took 3 out of 4 versus the Tigers over the weekend, but then lost 7-2 last night in L.A. against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Not good. And the Zach Farmer 5K run walk will be held June the 21st down at Piketon High School. That is a fundraiser down there. Of course, you can register for that event the day of the event at 8 a.m. or go to tristateracer.com. Many of you remember Zach was an all-Ohio baseball player, football player, basketball player, great all-around athlete. And he went on to play baseball at Ohio State before contracting cancer, which eventually took his life even before he could finish his college baseball career. That's a look at sports. On this date in history, we're going to take you back to 1930. All that ahead on Litter Media Live.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com. As we told you last week, in an effort to save our budget, we are going with our own artwork.
It looks like the finger. It looks like you're giving our viewers the finger.
We're saving our budget for our own artwork for images. On this date in 1930, New York's Chrysler Building, yes, it is the Chrysler Building, is completed, becoming the world's tallest building at that time. It secretly assembled a 180-foot spire to ensure that it tops its rival skyscraper. But just a year or two later, the Empire State Building, which will use the same image for that day, overcomes it as the top. Now you say, well, that kind of looks like the Empire State Building. Well, if you've ever seen the Chrysler Building, there are gargoyles. There are gargoyles, statues on top of it, and that's what those are supposed to be. These are windows and so forth. But yeah, that is supposed to be the Chrysler Building. Can we get it there? Yeah. The Chrysler Building finished on this date in 1930. Our resident artist is Dan Ramey, not me. But Dan's out the next 2 days, so I'm having to come up with the artwork. Can you draw any better than that?
No, I can't. But
oh, wow.
I could just imagine we come back from commercial and our viewers see Mike Smith giving him the finger.
No, that was the Chrysler Building that you saw there. I'll have to come up with something less challenging, although I thought that was pretty simple there. And no, that's not hair growing out of the spire. It has a unique spire. It's all like silver plated, and it looks nothing like my drawing.
We need to get Hannah Baconhaster to draw us.
Yeah, but she'd probably charge us though, unless we give her credit for it. Call Hannah if you want more artwork done. Yeah, stickmen, and that's about my limitations in the Chrysler Building.
You know who can't even draw a stick man is your Aunt Ruth.
Oh,
I've seen her try to draw a stick man. She can't do it.
Well, I probably give her a run because I can't do it either. But yeah, that's what happened on this date in history. We'll be back with you. No special editions that I'm aware of for tomorrow. So the daily program back with you here on Litter Media Live tomorrow at 11 with yours truly, Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon. So long, everyone, from all of us at Litter Media Live.